So in this question, two swimmers leave point A on one bank of the river to reach point B lying across on the other bank. One of them crosses the river along a straight line AB, while other swims at a right angle to the stream and then walks the distance that he has been carried away by the stream to get point B. What is the velocity u of her walking if both swimmers reach the destination simultaneously? The stream velocity is 2 km per hour and the velocity of each swimmer with respect to water is given as 2.5 km per hour. Okay. तो इस केस में हमारे पास जो स्विमर ए एंड बी हैं, ओके, लेट्स डायग्राम ड्रॉ कर लेते हैं पहले इसका. ओके, so this is point A and this is point B. Okay, so in the first case ये हमें दिया है the swimmer A, one of them crosses the river along the straight line AB. Okay, तो straight line AB के लिए क्या करते हैं, it should be going in this direction. Let us call this as x axis and this as y axis. तो अगर उसको स्ट्रेट लाइन जाना है तो आइडियली उसको इस डायरेक्शन में स्विम करना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो लेट अस कॉल दिस एज वेलोसिटी ऑफ द स्विमर. ओके, एंड वेलोसिटी ऑफ रिवर इज इन दिस डायरेक्शन, सो दिस विल बी अवर वी आर एंड दिस विल बी अवर, लेट अस कॉल दिस एज v1. So if v is the velocity of the swimmer is the velocity of the swimmer with respect to river, and vr is the velocity of the river, velocity of the river. Okay, so first हमारे पास swimmer A. Okay, let us call this as swimmer A. So swimmer A crosses the river along a straight line AB. Okay, it is given that swimmer A crosses the river along straight line AB. Okay, तो उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा उसको, for which he has to swim upstream. ओके, इस डायरेक्शन में स्विम करना पड़ेगा तभी वो आगे बढ़ेगा. फॉर इट दस स्विमर ए, लेट अस कॉल दिस एज स्विमर ए, एस ए, स्विमर ए हैज़ टू स्विम okay, SA means swimmer A. Let me write it here, swimmer A. Swimmer A has to swim upstream. So that the resultant velocity is along AB, is in the direction AB. Okay, so if D is the width of the river, okay, we write if D is the width of the river, then we can say the resultant velocity of swimmer A, that is V1, resultant, then resultant velocity of swimmer A will be equal to V1, and that is nothing but V square minus VR square and its square root. Okay, and the time taken to cross the river, let us suppose it is given as t, so t can be written as d divided by, so only v1 जो component है, that is only used for crossing the river. Okay, so the effective velocity that will be helpful in crossing the you can say from point A to point B will be v1, so it will be time divided by only v1. So we can substitute the values of both the values, so d divided by v square minus vr square square root, so this will be equal to d divided by 2.5 square minus 2 square and its square root, so we get t as is equal to d upon 1.5 hours. This is for swimmer A. Okay, next is for swimmer B. And we are going to call this as SP. So in this case, if you draw the diagram, the swimmer is swimming from point A, so if the opposite point is B, at an angle in this direction, so that it reaches point C. Okay, so the effective velocity, which should be in the direction of AB, let us call this as V, and this is VR, and let us call this as V2, and this distance, that is also called as drift, is given by x. Okay, so we can write this as here, that if swimmer B, that is SB, swims at a right angle to the river. Okay, so it is swimming, the river is flowing in this direction, so it is swimming right angles towards the point B. Okay, that is along AB. Okay, but due to the flow of the river, but it reaches point C. Okay, but it reaches point C, so which is point C due to river current, and then it walks back, and then it walks a distance x to reach point B. Okay, to reach point B. So in this case, we write that if v is the velocity, v is the velocity of swimmer B, v is the velocity of swimmer B along y-axis, then the time taken, to cross the river, let us suppose it is given as t1, so we can write t1 will be equal to d divided by v, and we already know that v is given as 2.5, so this will be equal to hours. Okay, next है, we are going to find out how much time it is going to take to cover the distance x. Okay, but drift due to river which is equal to x, and it will be given by velocity of a river multiplied by time t1. So we can find out that x will be equal to vr into d divided by v. We already know value of v, that is 2.5. Okay, so next is time taken to cover the distance, x distance, when we start to walk. Right, time taken to cover the distance x from point C to B, walking. Okay, let's call this as t2. So we can say that t2 will be equal to x divided by u, and we already know value of x, sorry, the formula of x, that is 1 upon u, and this is equal to vr into d divided by 2.5. Okay, so t2 can be written as 1 upon u, vr is given as 2, 2d divided by 2.5. Okay, so we can write t2 will be equal to d divided by 1.25 times u. But in the question it is given that both the swimmers reach the point B in the same time. Okay, but both means swimmer A and swimmer B reach point B in same time. So basically it means that time taken by swimmer A, which is t, will be equal to time taken by swimmer B, t1 plus t2. So we can substitute the values. Okay, t was our d upon 1.5 and t1 was d upon 2.5 plus and t2 was d 1.25 into u. Okay, so we can cancel this, d cancels out, so we can write that our u, if we solve it, will be coming as 3 km/h. So this is the final answer. Thank you.